Hey everyone, welcome back to or welcome to the first Deli Podcast about the AAF. I've been really invested in the past few days. Spent about a week ago, been studying the rosters up, and week one was definitely entertaining. I know some people said the games weren't the best, but I disagree. I think they were very interesting. The rules in the league are great, but there were so many videos out there about how great the league is, so I'm not going to touch on that as much. I'm going to touch on the overview of week one and get my opinions on each game. So I actually ended up watching all four games in entirety. So I got a nice watching experience on that. So the first game was the Commanders versus the Fleet, where we saw we'll just go team by team. So the Commanders looked dominant the entire game. They were the better team, and the Fleet just couldn't get anything going, even though I love their head coach, the ex-coach, offensive coordinator for the Greatest Show on Turf with Kurt Warner. But Mike Bercovici just isn't that guy, and Philip Nelson just wasn't the guy either when he came in. I think they have to get Jaquan Gardner going more, for sure. I like his story at least, and he played a pretty good game, but the offensive line was just awful. They gave up, I think it was 6 sacks, right? Yeah, I think they gave 6 sacks in the game or something like that, and it was absolutely insane. So you can't have your quarterback getting hit that much, and we all saw the hit on Bercovici. That was wow. So yeah, the Fleet are not a bad team. They had a really bad game. They played a great team in the Commanders, and I think the Commanders are going to be around for a while. They're really good, but offensively, they only targeted Gavin Escobar 6 times, and I think he's by far their best receiver, and they should look to him more. He wasn't a very good blocker. He got called for a key holding penalty on one of the most important, crucial plays of the game, which really hurt him. But Gavin Escobar is a must get the ball to. He had 4 catches for 66 yards. He definitely could have had more than that. Um, Brian Brown was all right, 5 catches, 66 yards. But this team doesn't really have the best receivers. And that's going to be a problem for them going down the stretch, especially when they don't have an explosive offensive line, one that can protect Bercovici or whoever the quarterback is for that long. They're really going to need a receiver to step up and show them why they're in the league and why they want their second chance. Because outside of Gavin Escobar, I don't really see a receiver on this team that I'd be too scared of if I was an opponent. But Jaquan Gardner is a serious thing, and they didn't run the ball enough. They only gave it to him 8 times, and they only ran the ball with running backs 11 times in the entire game. So that's a problem. I know that they were down most of the game, but still, it was a close game, a low-scoring game, and you have to get the run game going more. Gardner averaged 6.9 yards per carry. That's way better than average. You have to get him the ball, and they didn't, and that's one of the huge reasons why they lost. They relied way too much on Bercovici, who just wasn't there today. And I don't think he'll be there going forward. He just didn't look very good to me at all. He was too scared in the pocket. And his throws just weren't accurate. He was making pretty bad reads overall. Not a guy who I think is going to end up getting that second chance that he wants. But looking at the San Diego Fleet defense, Demontre Moore was incredible. In the defensive end spot, he had 10 tackles, including a tackle for loss, QB sack, and 6 QB hits, including a pass deflection. Ryan Moeller had 8 tackles with 2 pass deflections and a pick, but he got beat a lot of key plays in the game, and so don't let that pick just let you think they had a good game, the 8 tackles. He got beat a lot. Moeller was he wasn't that good. But Ron Brooks, on the other hand, the safety, was very good. Besides one crucial penalty, he had 2 pass deflections, interception, 5 tackles. Brooks was all over the field making great plays. He's a guy that, I think he's 30 years old, they said. That's the type of guy that I think I could see getting that second chance. And we see A.J. Tarpley's return to the football was pretty quiet, only 4 tackles. And outside of that, players that are notable, John Lele didn't do much, only 3 tackles. Greg Ducray only had 3 tackles, and that's the most notable players, I'd say. So let's go to the Commanders. Logan Woodside, 2 picks, 255 yards, but this 18 for 36 game really undermined how good he was. Woodside played very well. Receivers dropped a lot of passes. He over-relied on Mikael McKay way too much. But he had a good game. And that I'm very excited to see what he does next game. 2 interceptions really overshadow his performance. He was very good. And as the running backs go, Aaron Green had 6 carries for 43 yards. Kenneth Farrow is second, 14 carries for 37 yards and a touchdown. David Cobb had 9 catches for 36 yards. I was really excited to see Farrow and Cobb, but clearly Green had the best day of them all with that 7.2 yards per carry. But going forward, I would still work with Farrow and Cobb as the main guys. Cobb's pretty balanced back. He can do it all. He's not particularly quick. He's not slow, but he's not fast for sure. Kenneth Farrow, definitely a type of power back. We saw in the touchdown his ability just to bulldoze his way into the end zone, put his head down and just go. Greg Ward Jr. had a run, which is pretty funny. So receiving wise, Mikael McKay was explosive in the first half, was extremely quiet in the second half. Basically the second quarter and going on. McKay, they were talking about McKay all day, and he was really hyped up going into the game, but I don't see it. He dropped a lot of key passes. So I want to see what he does next game. I'm curious about him. He has the big body, the speed to be a good receiver, but I don't think he has the ball skills yet to be it. So I'm excited to see what he does next game. One guy who surprised me a lot, though, Greg Ward Jr. Absolute animal. He got 5 catches on 9 targets for 65 yards, including a great 37-yard catch down the field. He played a key role in the victory. His versatility, they showed off a little bit when they had him attempt a pass that should have been a touchdown, but just a little bit overthrown. Greg Ward Jr. was great. And besides Wood Jr., McKay, and Moore, they didn't really get many receivers involved, so I would look to Woodside to try to get the ball to more guys. I mean, he did target a lot of these guys a solid amount, though, so it wasn't really his fault. Looking at the Commanders' defense, Orion Stewart, who went down with an injury at the end of the game, was definitely the star there. Interception, 6 total tackles, 2 pass deflections. He was all over the field. He was great. We see Curtis Drummond, who had had a really key tackle late in the game, 4 tackles, 1 pass deflection. He was very, very good. Defensively, Shane Washington had 2 sacks and 2 QB hits. He was very good. Tyron Holmes had 2 QB hits. Sack for Joey Mabu. Who else had a pick? Zach Sanchez had a pick. He was an ex-high draft pick, and he's getting his second chance here. Even Mikael McKay had a pass deflection. I don't know how or when, but apparently he did. Nick Orr was here with 4 tackles. And let's get into the kicking unit. So Donnie Hagman was 2 for 2 for the Fleet, and Nick Rose was 3 for 3 for the Commanders. But Nick Rose only attempted a 29-yard long field goal, so don't overhype that. But the kicking in this league was very good, much more polished than the NFL this season, in my opinion. So that's going to end the video. We recapped the Fleet versus Commanders game. Commanders were the home team, and they came up with the win. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and we'll get on to the next game, the Apollos versus the Legends, in the next video.